Hey, what's going on? Oh, welcome to Prelude to Ulysses, the channel where we milk you. Let's let's okay. We're going to be reading the Popolvuh, the sacred book of the ancient chpt or Quiche Mayans. We're on chapter 3 of part 1. P to the V to the part 1. It's not a 9. No, not a 9. It's a 1. You can see that with these indicators pretty well too. That base horizontal line is connected at the vertical. So I know sometimes people draw 9s like that. This is not what's going on. This is part 1 and then chapter 3. Okay. Last time, let's continue. That's the wrong bookmark. I bookmarked where I quit reading. Looks like right in the middle of a sentence. Because I was reading that introduction, remember? Of course I remember. Oh yeah, they create a bunch of dudes. Perfect. Dudes and chicks, I think. I don't know. They're first the mud people, and they're like, nah, bro, we need these dudes made out of wood. Some people say a man is made out of mud. Hold on. We'll get to it. Don't worry. Don't even worry. I'm just trying to recap the last part. People say a man is made out of mud. I say made out of muscle and blood, skin and bone. Baby, and a mind that's strong and weigh 16 tons. What do you get? Burn something and you get is a cave with a bat. No, okay. Right. The 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me cause we'll try with the thumb now. St. Peter, don't you call me cause I can't go. You know I owe my soul to the company store. Skibbity wop a doo ba doo ba doo ba doo doo. I don't know the rest of it. Fuck. Left one don't get you, then the right one. Okay. Well, that was fun. Did you like that? No? Okay, we won't do that again then. I'm sorry. Bee-doo-boo-boo. Okay. All right. No, loud and clear. But that's pretty much what happened in the last chapter. But there's there's some work to do. But they are not thinking of the creator or the maker or the heart of heaven. Not enough, that's for sure. I think 0%. But they're the first race of humans. Ready? Part. Oh, so PV. We're in chapter 9, part 3. Immediately, the wooden figures were annihilated, destroyed, broken up, and killed. So it says immediately there, but let's recall the last sentence of the last chapter, which is, these were the first men who existed in great numbers in the face of the earth. Oh, I thought that said that they were around for a while. I misread it. We all make mistakes. Especially wooden figures. Immediately, the wooden figures were annihilated, destroyed, broken up, and killed. You could have just killed them. And to fucking annihilate them, destroy them, break them up, and then kill them. That means that they survived annihilation, first of all. First thing they survived is annihilation. That's fucking dope. For a stick. Okay, keep breath. A flood was brought about by the heart of heaven. Remember, the heart of heaven is, I think, hurricanes. 3 hurricane triplets. A great flood was formed, which fell on the heads of the wooden creatures. I love this. Of chpt. Oh God, what was chpt? I forgot. Some grain. It's a bean. Tzite. Of chpt, the flesh of man was made. But when a woman was fashioned by the Creator and the Maker, her flesh was made of rushes. Remember that? That means footnote. The quiche name zibaque is commonly used in Guatemala to designate this plant of the Typhaceae family. Typhaceae? Typhaceae family, which is much used in making the mats called patates tules in that country. Baceta says it is the part of a reed which mats are made. So, the dudes are made of beans, the girls are made of mats. Or reeds, which can be slept on. These were the materials the Creator and Maker wanted to use in making them. Oh. Those were the materials the Maker and the Creator wanted to use in making them. But those that they had made, that they had created, did not think, did not speak with their Creator, their Maker. And for this reason, they were killed. So, the wooden creatures died from flood, which is weird, I think, but whatever. And then they made bean and reed people, and they still didn't think or speak with their Creator. And for this reason, they were killed. They were deluged. What's deluged mean? Deluged. Okay, so these are the new bean and people. Bean and bean people. They were killed. They were deluged. Deluge. Number 1, a great flood of water, inundation, flood. Number 2, a drenching rain downpour. Number 3, anything that overwhelms like a flood. A deluge of mail. Number 4, the deluge, flood. To flood, inundate. To overrun, overwhelm. Cool, deluge. It's cool as fuck. A heavy resin fell from the sky. Resin is made from like refined sap? Maybe? A heavy resin fell from the sky. The one called Shekotovak, whatever, came and gouged out their eyes. Fuck. Camelots, Camalotz, Camelots, came and cut off their heads. Kotzbalm came and devoured their flesh. Tukumbalam came too. And broke and mangled their bones and their nerves and ground and crumpled their bones. Okay, we're gonna go back to the name of the last guy who broke and mangled their bones and nerves and ground and crumpled their bones. His name was, or their name was, Tukumbalam. And there's a footnote that we're going to get into. It is difficult to interpret the names of these enemies of man. Ximenes says that Shetokovak was a bird, probably an eagle, cock, or sparrowhawk. The Camelots, which cut off men's heads, was evidently the large vampire Nimachikop Kamazots, Bat of Death, which decapitated the young hero Hunapu in part 2. You're speaking... We're not in part 2 yet. He's telling me this as it's how it's interpreted, as if you know the text super well. This is not for people to read. Is it? Is this for learning? Of course it's for learning, ding dong. Oh my gosh. But it's... which decapitated the young hero in Hunapu in part 2. Decapitated. Past tense, relating in a footnote to the next chapter, I think is not awesome. It's this person who wrote this, I think, was writing to the editor or to the author or to the other people who are interpreting this work, not to me. A brand new reader who knows nothing about this subject. In part 2 of the manuscript, so Kamazots was a bat. Is a bat. That is going to happen. But Camelots is the one that cut off their heads. In part 2. Kamazots is going to decapitate somebody. Kurzbalm may be interpreted as the jaguar who lies in wait for his prey. Tukumbalom is another name for the Danta or tapir, salir. Volume, blah, blah. I'm not going to go into that. So somebody argues that, I'm not going to read their name, wild animal demons of the Popol Vuh are equivalent to the 4 monstrous figures, which are seen in Folio 44 of the Codex Borgiano, according to Seller. Oh, Seller is the name of the guy. Oh, I thought it was Tapir Seller was the name of the animal. So Seller argues that they're the same things in a picture 44, which I don't think there's any photos in this or pictures. Okay, whatever. Tukumbalum is represented in that codex as a species of shark or crocodile. The bat of the east had torn off the head of his neighbor in front of him, and the shark or crocodile of the west had torn off his foot. Alright. Could have probably not read that one. This was to punish them, because they had not thought of their mother nor their father. The heart of heaven, called Hurakan. Oh, so this says the heart of heaven is the father. I think I'm pretty confused about who is who, what characters are here in the God realm of things. So I thought it was Maker, Creator, and the heart of heaven. But this just says this was to punish them because they had not thought of their mother nor their father, the heart of heaven. But maybe it's just listing things. I thought it was saying their father was the heart of heaven, called Hurakan. Let's keep with me thinking that there's 5 characters in the God realm in front of us right now. Not counting Kamazots and Zhekotovak or Kotzbaum or Tukumbalam. None of those. The main gods. Creator, Maker, and the Heart of Heaven, which is 3 types of lightning. What in the shit? This was to punish them because they had not thought of their mother, father, heart of heaven. And for this reason, the face of the earth was darkened, and a black rain began to fall by day and by night. So once again, it's not happening in a chronological order. The first sentence is, immediately the wooden figures were annihilated, destroyed, broken up, and killed. So we are to assume that every sentence from there on would be after that occurred, but that's not how this book reads at all. It just says what's going to happen in the manner that it has already happened, and then it shows it happening. So it is a little confusing to me. If I sound confused, it's because I am. And for this reason, the face of the earth was darkened by a black rain, and a black rain began to fall by day and by night. Then came the small animals and the large animals, and sticks and stones struck their faces. Oh. The small animals and the large animals, and sticks and stones struck their faces. They all began to speak. I don't know if the sticks and stones are hitting the faces of the animals or the human beings that are being tortured, having their eyes torn out, being annihilated, killed, whatever. I don't know who is getting sticks and stones stuck in their faces. And all began to speak. Their earthen jars, which Ximenes translates grounding stones, is a water jug or pitcher here. Brosio de Borberg translates it incorrectly as tout ce qui leur avant servi. Their griddles. So let me read. No, it's okay. So their earthen jars, their griddles, their plates, their pots, their grinding stones, all rose up and struck their faces. Cool. You have done us much harm. This is a quotation. You have done us much harm. You ate us, and now we shall kill you, said their dogs and birds of the barnyard. The dogs which the wooden men ate were not like those which are now in America, but a species by which the Spanish chroniclers called silent dogs, because they did not bark. The barnyard fowls were the turkey and pheasant and the wild hen. So let's go back. All of these rocks and sticks in their little apartments rose up and started smacking the wooden people around in the faces. And then it seems like the dogs and birds are about to talk. You have done us much harm. You ate us, and now we shall kill you, said the dogs and birds of the barnyard. Which is awesome. And the grinding stone said, we were tormented by you every day, every night at dawn, All the time our faces went, holy, holy, huku, huku, because of you. Okay. These words are merely an imitation of the noise made when the corn is being ground up by the grinding stone. Oh my God, I love this. Oh, sentient fucking sticks and stones. They're like, hey, stick people, fuck you, man. That's awesome. It's weird. So here's the sound of corn being ground up. Holly, holly, hooky, hooky. Holly, 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 hooky, hooky. What is a Guatemalan accent? I feel like there's no way I am gonna make this sound good. Okay, well. So they are mad, and they're continuing to talk. This was the tribute we paid you. But now that you are no longer men, you shall feel our strength. We shall grind and tear your flesh to pieces, said the grinding stones. Grinding stones are badass. I like the dogs and birds more. Okay. And then the dogs spoke and said, why did you give us nothing to eat? You scarcely looked at us. You chased us and threw us out. You always had a stick. Leaning against the wall or lying on the ground is included or something. You always had a stick ready to strike us while you were eating. Ah, this is so cool. I love this. Because it shows an empathetical more empathetic than you see in, like, right now I'm reading the Bible also, and I'm in Leviticus, the very beginning, and they're just talking about that you just need to torture an animal. You need to kill an animal, not torture. Every time you like enter the tent of meeting, like anytime anything goes wrong, you need to fucking kill an animal. It's fucking obnoxious. Like these people, the Bible people are not at all seemingly in tune with like the land in any sort of positive way. They just see it as like their shit, right? As opposed to like just the concept of them giving dogs a voice is, especially these silent dogs, which maybe adds, because if you remember the last footnote about the dogs, it said that they were silent dogs because they didn't make any noises. Giving that creature and the birds a voice, knowing that they probably don't want to die or be eaten, and then even empathizing further to the rocks that they have broken apart and made grinding stones out of. I don't know. It's more in tune with how I view the planet, right? Rather than this Bible thing where the world is your oyster. I get sick of that for sure. I think that was when, I don't know. I was never like raised religious, but that was like, what the fuck? It's like the dogs don't go to heaven, no animals do. Or someone telling me that, and I was just like, that's fucking not right, right? Especially because they made that whole cartoon about it. Okay, let's just... Sorry. I just think it's cool that they are giving voice to things that don't have a voice. That's not something that seems very prevalent in Western religion or culture. I don't know. I don't know. What is Western culture? I don't even fucking have a clue. Then the dog said, blah, blah, blah. You didn't feed us. You barely looked at us. You chased us, and you hit us with sticks. You always had a stick leaning against the wall or whatever, ready to strike us when you were eating. Thus it was that you treated us. You did not speak to us. Perhaps we shall kill you now. Perhaps we shall not kill you now. But why did you not look ahead? Why did you not think about yourselves? Wow, that's weird. Now we shall destroy you. Now you shall feel the teeth of our mouths. We shall devour you. Said the dogs, and then they destroyed their faces. I'll be back in a second. Okay. I love it. They're just getting the shit kicked out of them. No one likes them. No one likes the people. Nobody likes the people. Who are they talking about there? See, and also we have to remember that this might be an adulterated version. I don't know if that's the right term. I just know unadulterated is not the right word. So I'm assuming that its opposite was the correct word, but I don't really think that that's the best way to think about things. But never mind. This was translated into this current form after the conquistadors did whatever they did, which I don't know fully at all. And I didn't read the whole introduction either, so I don't know. What's your point? Fucking, I don't know. So, there might be inclusions of concepts in this book that are not actual, that might be, my theory here is there might be some satirical dialogue inserted in here. perhaps the first humans, and this is based on absolutely nothing, and I'm probably completely wrong about this, but what if the author of the Popol Vuh included very specifically that the human beings made of wood were unable to no, that's you're not nothing you say it makes sense. We'll continue your fake thought then. Okay, so maybe that is a parody of the Spanish people and their weird different connectivity with God. No, because all they do is think about God. Maybe it's internal dislike of their own religion, because maybe the gods, maybe he's punishing his own people in literally he's literally in a literal god dang it, he might be exposing his own self-hatred and hate and disgust in his own culture's religion, that he's including this part where the gods are punishing them for not knowing them or for not being. No, none of that makes sense. Nothing. No. I don't think anything I just said was good. Cool. And at the same time, their griddles and pots spoke. Pain and suffering, Garmin Bozia. It did that part out. Don't think about that. Garmin Bozia. Pain and suffering. I don't think that's right. Don't worry, it's a quote. I'm not worried. I hope Steven Spielberg sues me one day. Okay, shh. Pain and suffering you have caused us. Our mouths and our faces were blackened with soot. We were always put on the fire, and you... Sorry, I got distracted. Our mouths and faces were blackened with soot. We were always put on the fire, and you burned us as though we felt no pain. Now you shall feel it. We shall burn you, said their pots. And they all destroyed the wooden men's faces. In parentheses, the wooden men's. So, the wooden men are also the TT people they mentioned before. I thought they made like a secondary. No, they are made of wood. Their skin was made of TT beans. And the flesh of women was made out of reeds. Okay. We shall burn you, said their pots. Then they destroyed the wooden men's faces. The stones of the earth, H-E, hearth. Stones of the hearth. They are the three hearthstones. Hearth, H-E-A-R, I don't know how to say that. Hearthstones of the Indians, on which the komal, or the cooking pots, rested. The stones of the hearth, whatever, which were heaped together, hurled themselves straight from the fire against their heads, causing them pain. All right, this is a long one. We're just going to read it. The idea of a flood in olden times, and the belief in another which would be the end of the world, and would have had characters similar to those described here in the Popol Vuh, still existed among the Indians of Guatemala in the years to follow the Spanish conquest. According to the Apologetica Historia, Bishop Las Casas says in his work that they had among them information of the flood and of the end of the world, and called it Butic, B-U-T-I-C, which is the word which means flood of many waters and means the final judgment. And so they believe that another Butic is about to come, which is another flood and judgment, not of water, but of fire, which they say would be the end of the world, in which all the creatures would have to quarrel, especially those which serve man, like the stones on which they grind their corn and wheat in pots and pitchers, giving to understand that they will turn against man. What? That was weird. That was cool. I don't know though. The desperate ones, the men of wood, ran as quickly as they could. They wanted to climb to the tops of the houses, and the houses fell down and threw them to the ground. They wanted to climb to the treetops, and the trees cast them far away. Okay, like where the trees throwing them. They wanted to enter the caverns, and the caverns repelled them. So was the ruin of man. So cool. So like they're trying to escape their judgment. It's raining. Gods are cutting their faces off. Dogs are eating their faces. All the rocks and sticks are killing them. And they're like, oh shit, let's get out of here. And then their houses collapse on them. They can't get on the roof. And if they try to climb a tree, the trees are like, fuck you, man. They try to climb in caves, and the caves just spit them out, I guess. So was the ruin of the men who had been created, and formed the men to be, So was the ruin of the men who had been created and formed, the men made to be destroyed and annihilated. Their mouths and faces, all of them, were mangled. Mouths and faces. I think that if you have a mouth or face injury, or a butt injury, or a genital injury, those are more life-threatening when it comes to lacerations than it's possible. Maybe there's a much more likely infection rate with your orifices. I think so. Right? Yeah, if you cut your butt back in the day, you're gonna like have toxic shock. I think. Okay. But I'm talking about mouths and faces though. They have a lot of emphasis on the head, mouth, face. Well, I think people can understand that that's important. Yeah. Okay, you're right. But also, maybe you're more prone to an infection if you have a cut on your face. Because you're eating food. Also, yeah, you know. Okay. And it is said that their descendants are the monkeys which now live in the forests. According to the Annales de Cuauhtémoc, Atitlan is the name of that lake. Was there a lake? Yeah. Lake Atitlan. According to the Annales de Cuauhtémoc, in the fourth age of the earth, many people were drowned, and others hurled into the mountains and were changed into monkeys. Love it. So the descendants of those creatures are the monkeys that live in Guatemala forests. I just did. Are there monkeys there? I didn't. Monkeys. There's fucking monkeys in South America? Yeah, right. There's gotta be. Yeah. Well, it says there are. So probably, yeah. In Central America, man. It's fucking crazy, dude. Of course there's Bigfoot. Okay. There are all the monkeys that now live in the forests. These are all that remain of them because their flesh was made only of wood by the Creator and the Maker. And therefore, the monkey looks like man and is an example of a generation of men which were created and made, but were only wooden figures. Fucking awesome. Just another reminder of the crop circle. That is the bookmark. See that? Perfect. Remember, today is August 15th, 2004. Important day for me. So we'll see. But tomorrow I'm planning on getting back to Ancient Evenings, which is just a great book. And it's too many pages to read for one day, though. 49. Yeah, I don't think I can read 14 pages out loud. Maybe I can. We'll see. Sure as fuck don't have to. That's for sure. All right. Oh, we could pause it. Oh yeah, this battery's fucking dangling. Oh, get in there, you stupid battery. Fucking. Ah, shit, fucker. Man, I knew it wasn't paused. It's both part of the gag. Alright. Oh, that sucks. It just died. And the fucking charger just died. Some people say a man. People say a man is made out of mud. I don't say a man's made of muscle and blood. Did you really need to end it with this? Yeah, you gotta sandwich your bits, bro. Sandwich your bits, bro. That's how you make a good film. I just saw the movie Triangle of Sadness. I fucking loved it. Holy shit. Dang it. Sounded good. Good thing I played all this so I can't see what I played and figure it out later. I'm kind of a dumb guy. Let's be real about it. Don't be so hard on yourself. Okay.